welcome to our hashtag Red Live Show. And this is your host, Steven. And today is our second episode as we celebrate World AIDS Day. So remember that Red Live Show is all about inviting HIV advocates and also allies who are really into the groundwork or have been pushing forward for what is Red Lives is all about. So for today, we are very lucky that we are graced by one of our advocate coming from Cagayan de Oro. So 'di ba parang talaga naghanap pa tayo ng mga advocates na pwede nating invite natin for this series of our Red Live show. So without further ado, I'll be calling in our fellow advocate and of course the current executive director for Cagayan Plus based in Cagayan de Oro. Help me welcome to our show Mr. Robbie Fortich Pamisa. Hi, Robbie. Good evening or good day in other
Yeah,
time zone.
good day. Ibang time zone, no?
Yeah. So welcome to
Hi.
our Red Live show, and thank you so much for being here and saying yes for this episode.
Mhm.
Kumusta naman? How's
Yes.
everything again, the Oro?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Before I'll answer that, thank you for the opportunity. For this interview. Kasi parang ang tagal-tagal na when we had uh the interview before, and I'm just excited to be here and talk about the program, the updates, and what's new for the program. It's for the HIV program, and so far, you were asking about kumusta na Cagayan de Oro. Yeah, Cagayan de Oro is actually booming. No, one of the progressive na cities, no, or highly urbanized cities in the Philippines. So no, that means dumarami din yung no mga tao na pumupunta dito as to employment, as to tourism, and that means na no tataas din ang no ang cases that comes along with it, no, na ang cases ng HIV kasi even in the tourism, no, isa yan sa mga parang ah hindi masyadong napag-uusapan, pero yun ang realidad na no na most of the tourists will somehow uh taste the locals. I don't know if it's the right term, no, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's just part of their itinerary or the journey. I'm not saying everybody is doing that, but mostly people who are traveling. But yeah, I'm talking a lot, as if the question is yun na talaga yung topic, no. So
But
yun,
it's
I mean,
okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that. For
yeah,
a quick backgrounder as well. Yeah, it's actually true that with the influx of tourists, it really have a may effect talaga siya. Like it affects the
absolutely.
yeah, of course, as the economy also is booming, so there's really an effect. And with that, it's I would kind of connect it to what is our topic for tonight. So it's really about making sure that because in this show we are really talking about why red lives matter. So on this
Mhm.
show, I would like to really dig deeper or really know you as an advocate and to connect as well. Bakit talaga importante na malaman ng mga tao why it's hashtag red lives and why
Mhm.
it's why red lives matter. So to
Mhm.
to start the ball rolling for this interview, I would like to really ask you right away, paano
Go.
ba napunta or paano ba ang or what's your backstory? Bakit napunta ka sa HIV advocacy? Can you share it to our audience?
Okay, sige. Medyo mahaba-haba siya, no, but I'll just try to remember kung no. Pero so far, maaalala ko pa naman siya, no. Way back, I believe 2013. At that time, yun pa yung I believe parang mas evident ang efforts na ginagawa ng mga na ginagawa ng DOH, Regional Office 10 ng City Health office or department ng Cagayan de Oro at with the support of the community-based organizations in Cagayan de Oro as well. Dun yung nag-boom na may mga activities na, may mga awareness na about HIV and AIDS, no? Mas parang pinalakas yung services na ino-offer ng mga government agencies na ito. So at that time I was actually involved sa events management, and yung late director namin kasi very much supportive of the HIV program and its events. No, he even uh, directed some of the events pro bono. No, so yun, dun siya parang na-introduce sa akin, ay may mga ganito pala mga ginagawang efforts locally. So yun, hanggang na nagka-interest kami na, or parang in a way na educate, because at that time while we were staging the event, I believe you were there, if also XD,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just
I
forgot the
remember
title.
that.
I believe it was Pagbantog, Cagayan.
I think that
Uh,
wasn't Pantog, that was
yeah,
Dilimana,
Pagbantog,
it's Betty and
Cagayan.
Bertog. Yeah. I think early
Yeah, so
2013 or 2015. Yeah.
2012 ata siya. I mean 2013, yeah, parang ganun na mga years. So parang yeah, the term was pagbantog, no, pagbantog Cagayan. So it's like awakening. It's like a form of awakening the citizens of Cagayan de Oro na we need to be aware of what's happening. HIV is in the city, and we need to do something about the cases that we have. So going back to that event, so parang in a way na introduce yung parang nag-HIV 101 ata doon, tapos parang na-encourage, or parang it hit me na if you're someone who's sexually active, you're actually prone or vulnerable. The term is vulnerable to acquiring HIV. And at that time, uh, as a gay man, I was parang isa yun sa mga stage na nag-explore talaga ako, as in super explore. So parang tinamaan ako at that time, and when it was when they were talking about it. So it made me or it made me realize that I need to do some testing. I mean, for how many years I've been sexually active, been uh, I was not careful, or I wasn't attending to to my health needs, like especially knowing my status. So after ng event na yun, our director actually invited us na, uy, baka gusto niyong magpapatest ako. Kung gusto niyo magpapatest, mas maganda na sama-sama na tayo, kasi may mga support. At least we support each other kung ano man mangyari, whatever the outcome or whatever the results will be. So yun, I took the test. We were at that time, nare-remember ko pa, sabi ng late director namin na we are the brave souls, kasi takot kami na magpa-test, pero andun kami, hinarap talaga namin siya kahit takot kami. So we were able to get tested, and after that nakilala namin yung mga volunteers and advocates doon sa City Health Office, and doon kilala ko yung mga founders ng Cagayan Plus. So doon na parang in-encourage nila ako na, you might want to be if you want to, you can volunteer, or you can join the organization and be part of the implementation of the HIV program. So parang ganun. So slowly naging friends ko sila, eventually naging kabarkada. No, parang na part na talaga ako ng kanilang group. And yeah, I became a volunteer and an advocate. So doon nag-start. Doon yung parang indoctrination, if I may call it. Parang doon ako na namulat na, hey, may mga ganitong no nangyayari sa community, and we need to
Mm.
do something. Kasi ever since college, I am I was trained sa Xavier University, kung saan ako graduate, na I mean na magiging ano na I mean parang na-mold ako doon sa school na maging socially involved, no, to be socially aware. So parang hindi na bago sa akin ang ganitong mga programa or ganitong mga activities na ginagawa. So I took it as a aside from the challenge, I took it as an opportunity for me to do something and give something for the community. It's my way of contributing to the intervention programs of the city, no, particularly ng City Health Office. So yun ang parang definite na parang shift talaga, na doon ako naging concern about my status, naging concern about the program, naging concern about the services, na dapat alam ng mga tao na may ganitong mga serbisyo ang gobyerno na pwede nilang i-avail for free, na dapat sila mag-avail, particularly yung key affected populations natin, yung mga males who have sex with other males, and yung mga transgender women, kasi sila naman, I mean, ito naman talaga yung identified na key population na no mas doon yung mas marami ang transmission or ang cases. So yun lang, medyo mahaba-haba, no, pasensya.
Thank you so much. Hindi, at least thank you so much for sharing that. The most important is dinala mo kami sa timeline, parang the journey, and on paano napunta ikaw sa advocacy. You mentioned about the turning point, and also I'd also like to commend you na parang yung social awareness mo at saka involvement mo dati, nag-connect din siya. And it's also good that the message here that we want everyone to know is, you know, taking care of yourself, and really self-care and awareness na it doesn't really hindi kailangan na you will be part of the community for you to take action of it. So it's parang ganun na messaging. So maganda siya na somehow with your backstory, na-touch mo na yung mga important points, so we can discuss in the later as we progress with their questions. So Robbie, I also I just want to, you know, dig deeper, since ang usapan dito is red lives. So alam kong of course with the HIV advocacy, the common color is red. So to ask you this question, parang how do you the question would be, why red lives matter? Parang why do you think red lives matter in the HIV advocacy?
Okay. Yeah. So, no, i-explain lang natin konti kung bakit red lives, bakit red, no? Ever since na when we talk about HIV and AIDS, no, nakikita na talaga natin yung red ribbon, no. Basically parang nare-relate siya sa blood, no.
Why do you think that red lives matter in the HIV advocacy? So I want to know your thoughts on this, because well, the show is all about red lives. So I just want to know from you as an advocate for the past decade that why red lives matter.
Okay, before I'll answer that question, no, when we say, I need to contextualize the idea of red, no, why, bakit red lives? Na pwede naman nating sabihin na lives lang, or the lives of the people in general, because HIV is a public health concern, no, but we need to focus, since we were talking about the HIV program. We need to focus on the people who's affected by the virus. So it's red because it's actually, it connotes the idea of blood. Blood is red. So when we see blood, or when we hear blood, the word blood, we actually relate that to the idea that it's alive. So we're talking a life, or basically the life itself, who's basically alive. I know, I know. In a way, it may sound that I'm not making sense, but that's the gist of it. And if we relate that to bloodletting, uh, it's saving lives. Uh, that's why it matters. We need to save these lives, these people who's affected by the virus, because first, they're human, and it's actually their right to live. So the government should do something, should give intervention programs or activities, uh, and services for these people in order to address their needs, particularly the medical intervention, or their medical needs. So I think, yeah, that's the bottom line, na dahil sila ay tao, sila ay buhay pa, so kailangan nating tulungan. Uh, they matter because, again, they are people.
Thank you so much. Those are big lines and big words. They matter
Yeah.
because they're people. That's also why I've been really telling into the show that red lives really matter. So to really connect on that one, I know that you the show is really like that, not that long, but I want to dig deeper on it by asking you the next question, and I would like to know from your own thoughts, what would be your reflection in the HIV situation in the country, in the Philippines to be specific, for 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. For siguro, I'll start with how we see it in a national scale before parang ano natin siya, narrow down, then to the region, and then to the cities, no, na within the Philippines. So in a larger scale, medyo nasa yung cliche na narinig natin na ah ma, malayo na, or tama ba yun, malayo na pero malayo pa. So parang ang layo na ng itinakbo or ng evolution ng program, pero ang layo pa rin natin kasi the cases are still rising. Wala pang Hindi pa natin napipigilan ang pag-rise. So we really need to refocus kung saan tayo mas dapat nag-excel when it comes to the treatment, as to the prevention. So locally, I mean, no. I mean, nationally, going back nationally, uh, again, it's epidemic, and then globally, it's still pandemic kasi wala pang meds or cure for HIV. Though there are news na meron ng mga clinical trials and all, but still wala pang cure. So it's globally, it's pandemic, but here in the Philippines, it's an epidemic. So the HIV epidemic right now in the Philippines, and the government's intervention programs and services is actually no, nandun talaga. Of course, with the collaboration of some of our stakeholders, our funders, Global Fund, like UNICEF and other networks na no na nai-involve sa programa, like Pilipinas Shell, like ngayon meron ng tatlong tinatawag nating sub-recipient na specific yung focus ni Love Yourself, na focused sa community-based organization, si Sustained Health Initiatives of the Philippines, or SISHIP, focus sa mga manpower na involved sa programa, and then Ideals, no, so sila yung the legal services part of the program, no, so they're attending to discrimination, stigma discrimination cases, no, particularly implementing or seeing if may mga nalabag ba sa RA no 11166 no, yung bagong Republic Act protecting the people, or not just the PLHIV community, but the people as part of the HIV program, or particularly the people involved. So nationally no, masasabi na natin na ang laki na nagawa ng gobyerno no, ng interventions, pati rin ang ginawa ng mga stakeholders and partners natin, mga funders. But yeah, then again, hindi pa rin siya enough kasi nga rising. So locally, umaabot na sa mga key cities, no, mga identified na mga key cities kung saan ang taas ng no parang no, ang sobrang taas ang pagtaas ng cases. So identified sila ng gobyerno na ito yung mga kailangan ng mga intervention. So ang parang reaction din ng city, parang parang like nagsusulputan din yung mga community-based organization as a response, no, response to what is, or the HIV situation in the city, in the locality. So umuusbong doon, so parang from there, kung anong mga intervention programs and services ng DOH at ng mga funders and stakeholders and partners, nakakascade sa mga regions at sa mga cities na kung saan ang tataas ng mga cases. Yeah, particularly yun yung mga intervention programs na ginagawa. Pero ang ano lang, siguro ang as of this time, hindi, kaya nga sinasabi ko na malayo pa rin tayo kasi gumagapang, no, the cases, gumagapang siya to the neighboring municipalities, neighboring cities. So ang focus lang most of the time are the key cities, pero napag-iiwanan yung mga neighboring provinces na hindi identified, no, na mga neighboring municipalities, cities na at maraming mga at risk din, no, na hindi alam no ng DOH. Siguro yung iba namamatay na lang without availing the services, without knowing na may mga services pala like testing, like treatment, no, na hindi umaabot sa kanila kasi hindi ganun kalaganap ang dissemination, hindi ganun kalaganap ang information dissemination, particularly sa municipality. So I'm talking about sa Region 10, ang experience ko kasi sa Misamis Oriental as a province, may mga municipalities siya. So si Cagayan de Oro as the capital, as the capital city, para siyang nasa center siya kasi yung gateway to Northern Mindanao. And then doon ang mga ang daming neighboring municipalities and then provinces, no. So yung mga hindi identified ng mga municipalities or cities, tumatakbo sila. It's either to other identified cities, like aside ni Cagayan de Oro, tatakbo sila to Iligan or tatakbo sila to Davao. So parang ang lalayo pa. Well, sa Iligan is just a 2-hour ride, no, si Davao naman 8-hour ride. But then, I mean, parang as of this time, yun lang kasi ang identified. The good thing for ang ginagawa ng region ngayon is they wanted to expand or to build more treatment hubs, no, to cater na maiabot yung mga ang treatment services as well as prevention services sa mga neighboring provinces and cities. So yun, ang ano lang, ngayon kasi na yung mga dati na napag-iiwanan na hindi na-reach, ngayon slowly na-reach na, slowly lumalaganap na yung information na pwede kayong mag-avail ng mga government services, pwede kayong mag-avail ng mga HIV differentiated services like testing, pwede na kayong, no, alam na nila na it's free, no, alam na nila na may mga prevention services na in-offer. So marami na no, marami nang nakakaalam. So lumalaganap na siya and it's good. But then again, hindi pa rin siya enough. Kailangan pa rin doble kayod pa din. So sa Cagayan de Oro, dumarami na din ang City Health Office, aside ang Cagayan de Oro kasi lahat ng mga cases namin nire-refer namin sa treatment hub which is governed by the region, no. So region 10 ang clientele niya, so that involves a lot of provinces: Bukidnon, Camiguin, Iligan, Misamis Occidental. So ang dami, so ganun kadami para ang in-handle nila. So ngayon na si Cagayan de Oro meron ng particularly ang City Health Office, no, meron na silang plano na maging treatment hub, at yung ibang mga provinces din, no, may mga bagong treatment hubs na din. So good news siya na dumarami para ang isang treatment hub like ni Northern Mindanao Medical Center na hub, at least ano siya, no, parang mahati or parang, no, yung population na ina-handle nila or clientele mahahati, no, magiging mas focused, no, pwede nang bumalik yung mga taga Bukidnon, pwede nang, no, ang access nila nandun lang, hindi na nila kailangang mag-travel to Cagayan de Oro just to take the refill or kung anong kailangan nilang mga tests. So we are addressing those issues na na-encounter natin dati, na yung iba hindi na, no, walang pera na pamasahe just to get the refill, parang ganun. So na-address na yun by establishing treatment hubs in those localities. So no, so yun, so balik tayo sa Cagayan de Oro na may mga ganun ng mga ginagawang plans na by early next year na ma-realize na siya. May mga may mga NGO at mga private organizations and institutions na willing maging treatment hub din. So yung efforts or yung response ay, no, lumalaki na, no, kasi yun nga, kailangan natin to, no? Kailangan nating i-upscale ang response kasi tumataas, no. Imaginein mo, it's ngayon based sa HARP, no, sa HIV and AIDS registry in the Philippines, 58 cases per day na tayo. So imagine 58 cases, so that would be I think 3 to 4, diba? I think 3 to 4 cases per hour. Yeah, per hour. So parang, and then based din sa mga records or data ng City Health Office or even national, pabata ang mga newly diagnosed. So parang it's sad to know na nagiging ganun na siya despite sa efforts natin, no. Even ako, I would feel na parang may ginagawa ba talaga kami, kasi bakit hindi namin napipigilan. So it's a thought worth reflecting na kung ano pang kailangan nating gawin, anong kailangan nating i-upscale, anong kailangan nating bigyan ng atensyon, no, para ma-adjust talaga ang treatment at saka yung prevention, no, na treatment. Of course, ready dapat yan, no, na ready ka for I mean, may existing na tayong clients na PhilHIV, so dapat, no, patuloy pa rin yung, no, patuloy pa rin yung suporta, patuloy pa rin yung meds. Yung mga newly diagnosed dapat ready din, no, ready din ang ano for that. But as to prevention, in-introduce kasi dito sa Cagayan de Oro, in-introduce pa kasi particularly in Region 10, ini-introduce pa si PrEP. Hindi pa compared to NCR na they are rolling out na for the past years ang prevention, which is basically PrEP, no, kasi yun na yung mandate ngayon, na if ever mag-test sa amin na reactive, dapat ma-link to care, dapat may access to treatment. At yung mga non-reactive, hindi namin siya dapat pababayaan. So aside from education, they have to maintain that negative status. So we will be encouraging them or advise them to enroll to prep, particularly yung mga sexually active. No, enroll to prep. So from there, if sexually active pa rin sila, catch na sila. Kasi every time they do refill, they need to do testing. So from there, pag nag-test positive, since nasa treatment hub na sila, no, na, kung saan sila kumukuha ng PrEP, automatically, pwede na din silang i-refer to ART. So, no, parang mas madali na siya kasi catch na siya ng treatment hub. So, yun, mas lumalawak at mas marami nang nare-reach ang mga intervention programs and services na ginagawa ng gobyerno. No, mas lumalawak na siya, mas marami na tayong natutulungan at nasi-save na mga buhay. So yun, kaya mako-connect ko rin again siya sa yung cliche na sinasabi ko na malayo na pero malayo pa. So yun.
So much for that, Robbie. I think you've covered a lot from what we expected. So ano lang, I'm just
do not hesitate to cut me off if masyado ng ano ha. Baka kasi na iba na yung ano, baka kasi iba na yung answers ko to your questions. So
no, it's okay. So thank you for that's really like I think you've covered what we need to know, and also for our listeners as well, and for our audience, that of course we all know that the cases are rising, and then yeah, that's a good news that you've mentioned about the treatment hubs, that it's expanding, because I know that in the Philippines right now it's all over, but we again we go back to what you said na malayo na pero
malayo pa.
Malayo pa. So it's already like looking back for the past decade, it's way different. We all know that, and I think we owe that to our advocates as well, and for those people in the grassroots community who've been very helpful. And alam mo yun, parang giving time and dedication as well to really take action, because we all know that we have to do it all together. This is not just like, aside from it's a public health concern, but knowing that we could do better or do more.
Hindi lang siya trabaho ng gobyerno, trabaho nating lahat.
That's right. So all right, so before we really go on into our wrapping up the show, I just want to ask from you like a very short, quick message. I would like to know, you as an advocate, what would be your message for the community, and well, for the community in general? So what would be like the message that you want to share it to them?
Marami. Sige, ano lang, parang ika-categorize ko lang siya siguro in a way. For ano siguro, I'll start with the PLHIV community na there's always hope na most of the PLHIV are on treatment na doon nila na-prove na the treatment works or ART works kasi buhay pa sila up until now, no? And i-compare mo yung meds na tinitake nila dati, years or a decade ago compared to ngayon, mas effective ito ngayon. No, wala na siyang side effects, pwede na siyang i-take any time of the day. Kung na-take mo siya for a certain hour na nag-decide ka na i-take siya in the morning, so dapat the entire morning na siya. Dati kasi iniinom siya at night, but ngayon pwede mo na siyang i-change. Like for example, nagtatrabaho ka sa call center, kailangan mo siyang inumin sa gabi or kailangan mo siyang inumin sa morning, so pwede na siyang gawin. Dati kasi hindi pa siya. So ang malaki na ang improvement as to science, no? Particularly sa ART. So yung sinasabi namin always na there's always hope, there's life after HIV, na it's no longer a death sentence, it's a manageable condition. So it's like the same concept goes with pag na-diagnose ka na, not really diagnose, pag sinasabi na, may diabetes ka. So ang response natin diyan o ng doktor, dapat may mga maintenance ka na kasi meron ka ng diabetes, or same with hypertension, may maintenance ka na. So parang ganun lang na konsepto na nagka-HIV ka, kailangan mo ng ART as your maintenance para mabuhay ka. Same with, 'di ba? Kung ng hypertension, it's maintenance. So kailangan mo ng inumin siya for the rest of your life, no? Para I mean, just to live. So magiging lifeline mo na siya. So yun, for the PLHIV community, carry on sa Bisaya pa padayon. I mean, life life is beautiful. So no, padayon, carry on. For the advocates, for my community na, I mean, for my fellow advocates na nasasayangan lang ako kasi ang daming advocates na nakakatulong, ang daming skills na na-contribute, kaya lang yung iba kasi nawawala na kasi, or yung mga particularly trained na HIV and AIDS peer counselor, or trained na mga community-based HIV motivators, peer educators, nawawala na. Kasi hindi na nila na-appreciate yung program, hindi sila compensated. So yung iba naghahanap talaga ng like real na trabaho na kung saan nag-earn sila. So yung iba nandito pa rin sa program, like me, nandito pa rin sa program kahit I'm not compensated kasi I'm not working or I'm not being paid, no, though I lead the organization, but I do have my job, no. Pero nandun pa rin yung commitment kasi part na siya ng pagkatao ko, part na ang pagiging advocate ko sa pagkatao ko. So ang ano ko lang, ang message ko lang sa kanila na wag sayangin ang training, wag sayangin yung skills na nakuha natin sa programa. Kung pwede, bumalik kayo and then give your time, contribute to what we can do for the HIV response in our city, in our locality, and in the Philippines. And sa mga tao, no, na hindi pa aware, hindi pa educated, na nandun pa rin yung stigma, nandun pa rin yung discrimination, na ang tingin pa rin sa HIV and AIDS ay isang sakit ng bakla, death sentence, mamamatay ka in 10 years, no? Na yan, na correct na yan. Those are actually myths, no? Kailangan nating i-educate ang ating sarili, no, with the access of information ngayon na ang dali lang, no? Ang dali lang, over the phone lang tayo, hindi na natin kailangan pumunta ng internet cafe just to search, no? It's in the palm of our hands, no? So pwede na nating i-search, pwede na nating educate ang selves natin na kung ano ba ang HIV, ano ba si AIDS, mamamatay ba ako pag na-diagnose ako ng HIV, no? Ano ba ang testing ba ay libre? Saan ba ako pwedeng makapag-test? Meron bang mga preventive or prevention services or mga meds na pwede nating i-take, no? So ang dami na. So we need to educate ourselves. We need to, because a little knowledge is dangerous. No, kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng stigma, nagkakaroon ng discrimination kasi hindi tayo maalam, no, sa isang topic, no, particularly this HIV and AIDS. Mostly kinakatakutan siya, no? Parang ang tingin ng mga tao para siyang, no, dati, and even ngayon may mga tao pa rin ang thinking is para siyang ano ba 'yung tawag doon, yung sa Bisaya is sangla, leprosy, no? Para pa rin siyang leprosy na kung kung nakipag-usap ka sa isang PLHIV, no, parang ma-acquire mo na, parang gano'n. Nandun pa rin, may mga tao pa rin gano'n ang pag-iisip, kaya nandun pa rin yung stigma, nandun pa rin yung discrimination. So kailangan nating i-correct. So though we do have our parang education or awareness, pero hindi pa rin siya nako-correct. So I think I'm challenging the public na be in the know. Be in the know. Research, be informed, no? If you have somebody, if you know somebody na newly diagnosed ng HIV, give them your support. They need your support, and research about it on what you can do, and on what you know about it, para alam mo, no, alam mo kung hanggang saan yung suporta mo, alam mo na hindi siya nakakahawa, no, alam mo kung paano tulungan ang ano ang isang tao na newly diagnosed, particularly if that person is your friend or a family member, no, they need your support, no. Dati naaalala ko na I keep on saying na, kasi ang when I became an advocate, ang dami nang nag-come out sa akin na, hey, I'm a person living with HIV and these are my closest friends. Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam all the while. So alam ko na ngayon, and it's actually, no, dinadala ko pa rin siya, no, na hindi ko siya kailangang ipagsabi, of course, no, for confidentiality purposes, but I mean, kilala ko na sila. At ngayon, mas naaalagaan ko sila, no, sa akin sila lumalapit if may mga concerns. So, parang it's just hindi naman siya overwhelming, pero ang saya lang sa puso na nagtitiwala sa iyo. So you can do na pwede mo silang tulungan. So yun, I was able to address and to influence people with my hashtag na I love my PLHIV friends. No, you really need to support. If you know somebody, may it be your family member or a friend or a closest friend na nalaman mo or nag-open up sa iyo na newly diagnosed or meron siyang HIV, they need your support. Kasi hindi biro yung pagdadaanan nila. No, it may take some time for them to accept their status or maging resolve or ma-resolve yung status, no. Hindi lahat nagiging open na nagiging resolve with their HIV status, but through education, through mentoring, through counseling, no, na ginagawa natin, mas nabibigay natin yung support na kailangan nila, at mas nare-realize sila na kailangan pa rin talaga nilang lumaban. Kasi again, life is beautiful. So kailangan nating lumaban. So yun lang na mga messages. I hope I'm contributing something to that message. I hope sana ma-inspire yung mga tao na tulungan natin ang programa, kasi ang HIV is a public health concern. Walang kinikilalang estado, walang kinikilalang religion, race, basta ikaw ay tao, pwede ka, no? Pwede kang mahawa. So again, it's a public health concern. So if you think you can, no, you can give something or you can contribute something by being a volunteer or an advocate, then you are very much welcome, no, sa programa. We welcome namin kayo with open arms. Yun lang
Thank
po.
you so much, Bobby. Yeah, so I really want to talk to you further, but of course the show has we need to really wrap it up, and I think you've already mentioned important things. Also we want to send across the message that there is really hope, and then ART is available.
Yeah.
And of course the advent of science, it's very important, and yeah, agree that the access of information is kailangan siya na andyan na, like we can just check. It's always important that we know and to be socially aware. So maraming salamat doon for you as a volunteer, and then eventually leading the non-government organization right now. So sobrang thank you for paving the way, and also continuing to nahilain pa din natin ang red lights, and also yung red ribbon pahabain, because we all that madami pa, like we have to do a lot of things, but especially right now it's changing, and we can do more, as I've mentioned kanina. So before we really close this, I would just like to ask you to what would be like this one phrase para sa'yo, red lives is blank.
Pwede bang mag-think for quite a while? Pag-think ng ilang minutes. Sige. But what comes to mind? What comes to mind when I hear, when you mentioned the phrase red red lives.
Is blank.
Hmm, kailangan ko bang sabihin? But yeah, yeah. Red lives is important. Tama ba 'yun?
Yeah. Mm,
I
that's all
mean
I.
I mean, ano ko lang parang tama ba yung grammar? Red lives. Red lives is yeah, magiging singular pala siya. So red lives is important. Yun yung naiisip ko kasi i-explain ko lang. Red lives is important kasi when I going back to the first question, uh again, tao sila, no? Kailangan natin sila, kailangan natin silang tulungan, no? Again, they are people we need, no? We need to give the services or the intervention or the services that they need, no, para mag-continue sa buhay. Yun, I think yun yung parang explanation doon na they are important because they are human.
Thank you so much, Robbie. I can't really agree to that more, but I don't need to
Mm.
elaborate that because of course this show
Yeah.
is really about making sure that red lives really matter. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in for the second episode of our Red Lives show. And this is your host, Steven. Thank you, Robbie. We're gonna get in touch and
It's a
help to
pleasure.
salamat. Thank you, everyone.
Sige po. Bye-bye na.